Bailment's one of those technical terms that's thrown around a lot in a transport context. Bailment's a legal term that is really about possession. So the bailor is the person who owns the goods or has possession of the goods, and they then give them to the transport operator, who's the bailee, because they take possession of somebody else's goods. What this means in the transport industry in practice is that a transport operator or a warehouse operator will be a bailee of goods. In other words, they have possession of goods that belong to somebody else. What this means is that a transport operator or a warehouse operator both owe special duties to take care of the goods that belong to somebody else that are in their custody. One of the special duties that a bailee owes is that they must take the same care of the goods they have in their custody as they would if those goods were their own property. So in other words, they must take reasonable care of those goods. The notion of bailment doesn't just apply to the transport operator. As I said, the transport operator is a bailee, but if it then takes those goods and gives them to a subcontractor, the subcontractor is a sub-bailee, and the subcontractor also owes duties of care to the owner of those goods to take proper care of them. The whole notion of bailment is the framework that the law puts around the relationship between the owner of the goods and the person who has possession of them. The parties can always agree to do things differently in a written contract. So a written contract between the owner of the goods and the transport operator might say, for example, that the transport operator isn't responsible for the goods, or that the warehouse operator is only responsible in certain specific circumstances. It's very important, if you are handling other people's goods, to have some kind of written relationship, a written contract that deals with the risk associated with those goods. For example, if you're running a warehouse and you're responsible for those goods, there might be some situations where you can't get insurance up for those goods, and it's important, if that's the case, for you to have a contract that says you're not liable in particular scenarios.